How fast should you gain weight when you're bulking is the question that we're going to answer today in this video. Once again, thank you for the good love in the comments. I get that you like these style of lecture videos and I really fucking enjoy making them. So we've got a good thing going and we will continue to rinse and repeat it. And why it's important that we make this video is because you have probably come to the point where you realized you are either small or skinny and you're like, oh shit, I definitely need to fucking put on some size. That is the main goal. Why do you want to put on some size? So we can look fucking stronger, more masculine, and just look like a fucking sick guy. And that's a really good thing. And you should desire that and hold that fucking desire deep inside your chest for as long as you possibly can. Now, before we get into it, the first question you need to ask yourself is, are you lean enough to bulk? And even if you're skinny, I would still ask you, are you lean enough to bulk? Because if you remember some of the transformations I do here, let's say we've got this guy for one example, this guy for another. Just look at their physiques now as I pop them up on screen, and then I'll tell you why I show you them. Then this guy. And this guy's not quite finished yet, but let's say this guy. Okay, so look at their start photos. Okay, if you resonate with these start photos, I'm going to say something quickly to you before we get into this video. Now, you don't need to go straight to a bulk, but what you do need to do is do a body recomposition. So what you're actually looking for is a better physique. What you will get from doing a body recomposition is that, but you're not inherently going straight into a bulk. And the reason I say this is, you're going to be in this for the long game. As soon as you start going to the gym consistently for any more than 6 months, you're like, I'm probably going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So let's set up with that in mind and do it right and do it smart. Because you can go on a bulk from those starting positions. You can. It will still kind of work. But there's two things. I think you'll fall off the bulk faster when you start at that point, because you will get fatter, of course you will, because you're already carrying more adipose tissue than is necessary. And what will happen is, as you don't have that much muscle and you get fatter, you will look inherently smaller. Does that make sense? Because you're going to look smoother across your body, so you feel like it's not working anyway. And then that will cause a lot of distress, and then you'll end up cutting anyway. So just start with a recomp in mind. I've done many videos on how to do a body recomp, but essentially you're going to go in just below maintenance, train like fuck in the gym. You will still be able to build some tissue because your numbers will still climb. Pull off the body fat, get yourself down to this point here, hopefully more muscle. But even if it's the same amount of muscle, when you're lean at this point, now the window you've got to build from is fucking massive. When you're 10% or below, you've got all the way back up to 20 to go and accumulate as much tissue as you can at the small rate of fat gain. And you're going to be more lean and responsive to training stimulus. You're going to be more lean and responsive to the way you would utilize the fuel that's going to allow you to drive performance in the gym. So let's just build our house from a solid foundation. I know you came here looking for how fast you should bulk, but honestly, just take a little bit of critical thinking and just think, am I in the right place to bulk? You probably are, but just make sure you are, because I wouldn't want the first thing to happen, because it's just going to waste time for you getting to the actual goal. I wish someone shook me. Oh, well, they didn't need to shake me because I've always been a skinny cunt, but I wish someone just shook me and said about the other people that they actually would benefit from just doing a little recomp first. Now, the next thing I will say, when you come to bulking, you'll go onto YouTube and work out what to eat for bulking. And the advice is not inherently bad, but straight away, what do you see when you see this first thumbnail? If you look at the side of the screen that you're supposed to be eating that's correct, I see avocados, I see nuts, I can't work out what's in that bowl, and I see some chocolate milk. Dirty versus clean. That's not too bad. This here, easy for 4,000 calorie bulking diet. Fats style food. Now the problem I have with these is easy bulking calorie diet. It tells you what I got from this when I was in their position. You probably get the same. This is telling you that you just need to eat a lot of food to gain weight. That's the message here. So then the goal doesn't actually become training. The goal inherently is just make sure you hit that food day in, day out, 4,000 calories. And I've done that style of bulking, and that's why I can talk about this and tell you that honestly, it's not really the smartest way to go. So people will tell you high fats. High fats will help you put on weight. Do you want to put on weight? Do you want to build muscle? Because they're not inherently the same thing. The scale weight will shift. Of course it will. You're going to be eating more food and it's easier to eat those foods. And that's what people are, they're selling you on ease. The easiness of bulking. Bulking, honestly, mate, it's not that easy. And I will sit here and tell you the truth. So I'm not going to sit here and say, eat loads of fats and get your calories up really, really high. Because that's not what you need. Why do we eat more food in a calorie surplus? Because food is fuel. Fuel for what? To drive performance in the gym. What does performance in the gym mean? It means that you started on 30 pounds on your flat dumbbell chest press and now you can lift 40 to 44 pounds. That difference there, that's performance in the gym. That's gains. That's muscular improvement. That's the focus. So what is the tool we need to allow that to happen? That's where the fuel comes in. And then going back, well, what style of fuel would we actually need? I'll go on to that in a minute. And then scale weight. Now, a lot of you will bulk and not even track your scale weight. I've done it in the past as well, and I realised how absolutely ridiculous that is. If you're not measuring progress other than by how you look in the mirror, like inherently it's not an awful metric to use, but you will look bigger at different points in the day when you've had more food, when you wake up in the morning, when you've been to the gym, when you've not been to the gym, when you've trained arms yesterday versus it's been 3 days since you trained arms. You're going to look different at different proportions. So you're constantly chasing your tail with how you look and how you're actually tracking your data. So if you're not tracking your scale weight, you'll never really know if you're making proper progress. And of course, taking progress photos. So that's why I start with these 3 things. Are you lean enough? Don't just think about the calories and fats that everyone else is telling you to do. And are you even tracking the scale weight? So what's our goal here? What's our goal from this video? Our tangible goal is to grow as much muscle as we can at the least cost to putting on fat. It is inevitable you're going to put on some fat because we're in some form of a surplus, which means we're having more food than we actually needed for our body. It is inevitable, but we want that ratio of what we put on from muscle to body fat to swing in the balance of muscle. Of course we do. So that is the goal, that me and you are on the same page as we deliver this video and I give you the info. So this was the last bulk I did. So this was December 29th of 2022, and that's July 2023. So we started at 75 after we did a photo shoot at the gym in Dubai. I've told that story before. Then I went to Thailand and I didn't have control over my whole eating hormones. My ghrelin and my leptin were all fucked. So I was going to the food markets and I was like gobbling everything until I was like feeling sick because the feeling of like fullness just wasn't there. And I was in Thailand, street food. If you're like me and you like Thai street food, I was in fucking heaven. But because my hormones are so fucked, I was just eating absolutely everything. So I came back and I did a mini cut to wipe off. To be honest, it was pretty much water weight because it was over the course of like a 2 to 3 week period. You just wipe the water weight off, not a problem. So and again, build your house on a solid foundation. I wasn't going to bulk off the back of just abusing my body for 3 weeks. So just a quick mini cut, wipe out the crap, and we started at 75 kg. And then by July, so what's that, 7 months? Yeah, 7 months later, we were at 83. So that's a 8 kilo increase. Maths. So pretty much a kg a month, okay? Now, obviously, it goes a little bit faster in the beginning because just where you start eating more and water goes in, like you're going to put on a bit more. So this was the increase. Now, I was pretty happy with this increase. After this point, by the way, I did push it more and more, and I just ended up getting softer and softer. So this was the peak of the bulk. Also, this was the haircut we were rocking. What do you reckon? Really short? And here we went from like fair good development. Arguably, I made a mistake when I was training my chest across that year, and I'll go on to that in future videos on like why certain exercises actually do inhibit more gains. But we still managed to control the midsection. You can still see the abs and bits of intercostal muscles. I know I've zoomed this photo out quite a bit. And we can see some development across the arms and the shoulders. Granted, pump. I don't think pump on this one. Arms in a bent position, arms straight. So take it still with a pinch of salt. I'm not here to sell you any dreams, all right? So, but we can see there was there was a gain. We managed to control the midsection. We did it at a smart rate. So I have done this before. just to give a bit of credibility, I've done this before, okay? So we're going to go into the process of what that looks like for you so you can take this away, start your bulk, do it correct, and do it right. Now, the first thing we need to look at when we're bulking is not actually the diet, it's your program. Is this program you are doing going to allow you to build as much muscle as you possibly can? Okay, so what does that look and feel like? Are we training, for men, are we training the main upper body movements twice a week with enough volume? Okay, yes, right, I've got chest this day and this day, back this day, boom, 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 boom. The volume is a bit higher on arms and delts because it's smaller muscle groups. Perfect. Okay, here's a mistake I did last year. Only really looking to train the muscle in the shortened position on chest, which means exercises where they get harder towards the top. A lot of gains, in fact, more gains are made when you challenge the muscle in the lengthened position, and it is more loadable because you are stronger in that position. So what I'm saying is, if you want to grow a chest, make sure dumbbell press is in there. I'm not a fan of barbell, although it's even more loadable than dumbbell, but less range of motion. Just because most people, it just flares their elbow out wide and you just can't fucking, like, it just trashes the shoulder. For me anyway, maybe it doesn't for you, it's just for me. So we want to make sure we've got exercise in our program that challenge the muscle in the lengthened position, so as it gets longer, because they are more loadable. So that is the first thing. The next thing we need to make sure we have is a logbook to track those lifts. So we've got our big main money movers, which are going to help us put on muscle, because when we're bulking, we're looking to put on muscle. So we need to make sure we've got the main muscular building exercises in there. We need to have a data point of tracking those, because what we're actually going to use as our marker to know if we're making gains is that. That is the first thing I want you to come to. I want you to come to your logbook, assess it, and be like, I can see across 8 weeks, I've put on 5 pounds on this lift. That's a good telltale sign that you've got stronger. If you've got stronger, it means you've put on more tissue. Unless you've just been doing like 1 RMs, which you haven't because you follow a hypertrophy fucking training program that I talk about on this channel. So you've probably been training for hypertrophy. So that is what you're going to track first. That is what you're going to track first. Now, so if we're tracking these 2 points and we realize that on our main money movers, we don't see the numbers start to increase. We've done it week after week after week, and we're just not really increasing. We can't get that extra rep. Sometimes we actually lose a rep, and then the week after we regain it, and then we lose it, and boom, boom, boom. Now we need to be thinking, okay, food as fuel. Food as fuel. I'm in a surplus because food is fuel. Fuel will drive performance in the gym. It will help me get the extra rep. That is how I grow. Repeat, 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 and you keep repeating like that. So the smartest macro for fuel arguably is what? Carbohydrates. Firstly, where would I put more carbohydrates in? Well, what am I trying to do? Performance in the gym. I'd probably put them around the workout. I'd probably put high GI carbohydrates in and around the workout. Which means you're looking at start with fruit. Great. If you can do fruit, brilliant, because it's a pure form of high GI carbohydrates. And to be honest, you should be okay. Stick a banana in there, stick an apple, good high GI in and around the workouts. Obviously, if it's fruit, it is quite fibrous, so it can get a little bit filling. And then the next course of action is something that digests really fast. I'll kind of leave that up to you, but just don't abuse your body with fucking real sugary and chocolatey shit. Look at a rice cake or something like that. They're all right, actually. Stick a rice cake. You can just put a bit of pure honey on a rice cake. That's pretty clean. It's not quite fruit, but it's pretty darn clean. You put that in and around the workout, it's going to allow you to get the extra numbers. So when the number stops increasing on the scale and in the gym, then you're looking to go for around 200 calories in the form of carbs first. That's going to be 50 grams of carbs, 200 calories, quick maths, in and around the workout. Once you've done that COA and you've kind of rinsed that, and it's not going to serve you to have more calories in and around the workout because you just to digest is a bit of a nightmare, then look to go to lower GI carbs around probably the back end of the day. again, back in the day, why? Help you sleep a little bit better. So you're looking to bump up your pasta or your rice. If you're doing potatoes, I wouldn't really do potatoes when in a surplus, just because of, like, again, the sheer size of them, where, like, when you're dieting, they are really good because you get more volume of food for less calorie. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. So we realize that carbs are the smartest macro in terms of, like, quick energy performance in the gym for the number to go up. And that is going to be the best rate of gain that we're looking for. The second thing we're looking for is obviously the scale weight. So track the fucking scale weight every day when you're bulking and log it, because you're going to need to see what that weekly average is and therefore to see what your monthly average is. Now, to put it bluntly, to give you one answer to this whole video, you're looking for 1% of the scale weight per month. When we were dieting you down, we're looking to pull 1% of the scale weight per week. We're looking to add 1% of the scale weight per month. Roughly, for most people, if you said a kilogram, that'd be pretty sound, to be honest. Like, I was going for about a kilogram here, and that would be 700 grams roughly. So I was doing a little bit more and doing a kilogram. If you do a kilo a month, that'll be fine for majority of people. So, but to put it bluntly, 1% of the scale per month is what we're looking for. So you need to track your scale weight literally every day, or you're not going to know if you're moving in that right direction, because we need these data points. If you don't have the data points, we're not going to be able to make decisions correctly to then allow us to get to the point. And what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. You're going to turn into fucking this guy. You're going to be soft, and because you're going to be soft, it's going to cover a lot of the muscle, and you're still going to look small, and you're going to fucking absolutely hate your life and love it when you go on a cut. So if you don't track these points, it's going to be a problem. Track everything. Numbers in the gym come first. Food is the fuel to drive the numbers in the gym. Carbohydrates is probably the smartest macro to use. Don't really go for fats. I know you may say to me, oh, but my appetite. If you're only increasing your calories from your maintenance by 200 in the form of high GI carbs, you will be able to stomach them. Let me tell you that for free. And you're putting the demand on your body to need that food anyway. So you will be able to get it in. You don't need to be in a daft 1,000 calorie surplus just to build the muscle. If you're trying to force an extra 1,000 calories, then obviously it's going to be hard and you're going to need to lean on fats. So I do appreciate that, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to build muscle specifically, and we're looking for a 1 kilo gain every month, pretty much. So the results of smart bulking, this is just a quick few photos of my journey. This is what it's like in 2020 when I started. 67 kg. Fucking skinny as fuck. This was after the photo shoot in Dubai. So don't get me wrong. When you see this photo, that is me dieted down, probably leaner than I am here. That was the leanest I'd ever been in my life. I'd had an influx of carbs for this, so I was pumped up, and I've trained at this point. So look at these and always take what I show you. Like, I'll be honest, that there is muscular build, of course there is, but like, that you're seeing a good condition of me when I show you these photos. I'm not trying to be unrealistic with you here. And then after last year's bulk, so we started at, let's say, 72, or you could say 75 after the increase. We went all the way up to here, 83, and then, to be honest, mate, we pushed past that, went to around about 86, and then dieted all the way back down to 75. And again, this is a post-session photo, and I believe I'd had a good amount of carbs going into that day as well. So you can see how the rate of gain gets smaller as you go into this. I'm now into the next gaining phase, touching around 80 kg. We're going to keep pushing. Need to get to about 90 this year, and then diet back down, and ideally sit at, if we get to 78, beautiful. I'll be happy with that. And because obviously when you put on a couple of kilos of muscle and you diet back down, you compare the two, it does show, like, you can see a couple of kilos of muscle. I know it sounds like absolutely fuck all, but when it's pure muscle, you can see the difference. So don't worry about that. But yeah, just to give you a realistic rate of what that looks like. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, if you want me to run this for you, just book a call. We'll roll from there. Subscribe to this channel right fucking now, because I know you like these videos and I like making them for you, and it helps me confirm that I should continue making these style of videos. And if you want to see, like, just a little bit more concepts and personal life, follow me on IG. See you tomorrow.